interested in becoming mentor couples because we already together had coached a lot of couples and individually have a real passion for leaders in ministry. So it was a great fit for who we are and how God's been using us.
Yeah, I felt like God was preparing us for a long time with little baby steps. And then Rick had a meeting with Jim, and they were talking about the possibility of us being mentors. And at the same exact morning that he was having this breakfast, I was on my way to another meeting, and I felt like God was telling me that he needed me to mentor people that were high up in ministry. And when Rick came home that night from having this breakfast with Jim, and I had just had this kind of conversation with God, it was like the exact same moment, and we really had confirmation that God wanted us to move forward in this ministry.
Jim and I were talking more about strategy than that, and I thought I can't talk to him about why this might be a good fit for us until I talk to Susan. And when I started to tell her about the meeting, she asked what time, and at the exact same time, God was speaking to both of us. We had a real heart that when you go on missions trips, that you don't add to the burden of missionaries, but that you help them, you serve them, you recharge them. So this was a great fit for us to be able to take some missionaries away out of their crazy life and to just sow into them, to help recharge them, to help realign them, and to help them have fun and send them back into the game whole.
Well, it was actually Rick and Susan who actually told us about the program, and they suggested that we go through it. And we thought, you know, at this point in time, we do need to have something that will help us in our marriage and also in our ministry.
But also, I think we needed someone to stop us from the crazy life we having, you know, serving God in the context where we are. It's so easy by helping people all the time and trying to be the solution for so many people and situations. You need to have people that love you from the outside, that sees you on another in another way, to say, you know, it's time to stop now and think about yourselves.
Yeah.
And it was so fun for us to be able to see their reaction. What I loved was they took what we were able to give them and they just ran with it. They went home and they had planned immediately a 3-day retreat for their staff to kind of pass on the learnings they got from us. And it was so fulfilling to watch God just keep moving through them, and then them keep the movement going through the people that they were ministering to.
For us to have people actually that it was safe to talk about, I mean, there was really no limit. We really talked about things that we wouldn't share with most of the people around us. In fact, the context we work in Goma, Eastern Congo, is such as we are considered by most of the people around us as models and examples, and sometimes people put us on a pedestal. And so the difficult part for us is, where do we find Barnabases or peers or people that we can open our hearts to and talk about issues that we need help with? And so with Rick and Susan, that was possible to do, and in fact they encouraged us to actually look for people on site right there that we could continue to have this kind of relationship with, and so that was very positive.
With the work that we're doing, it's hard to be what we realized through this retreat. It's hard really to be ourselves all the time, because you have to be strong for those who are not strong, and there are many around us that are not strong. And finally, we realized through this retreat also how much we've been keeping inside. How much, for myself, I've been keeping inside because nobody allowed me to talk about it. Nobody asked me the question, and so that was really a really great insight to be. And that's what I love about Rick and Susan. They are real, and they are also direct. And I'm a direct person, but it's hard for me to find people who are also direct with me, and they are. So they point to specific things, and that really helped a lot.
It was really a blessing to realize that in the moment they had some struggles going on with their ministry, and so as they were able to see their gifts, they were able to understand how to deal better with them and to confirm some decisions that had been made, and also how they were able to have some conflicts right in front of us, that it was safe enough for them to do that, that we were able to help them walk through it and learn from what was going on there and give them some tools, and actually could see them benefiting in the moment.
Mm-hmm. And then what was fun for me too is we were blessed by them. You know, as they learned things, we learned things about ourselves and about God. And sometimes you think, who's the mentor and who are the mentees? It was such a reciprocal relationship, how the Holy Spirit showed up for all four of us.
When I think about our mentor couple, they are just a great example for us. And for me, they are so real, so open and honest that you can see through them, and that's what I really love about them.
I really appreciate their availability. I mean, they would take time out of their busy schedule to actually serve us, help us, and not only spend all this time, but also be able to actually follow up and make sure that we are faithful to not only the commitments we made to each other, but the commitments we made to God. So, and in fact, their example actually motivates me to do the same for other couples, other shepherds.
And I want to add also something. Their commitment to Christ and the Holy Spirit is just amazing. It's really a reminder to me also. I love when the way they depend on the Holy Spirit all the time, and it's a great reminder for me in my walk.
In the past, we've mentored mostly younger couples that are going through godly courtship and engagement and early marriage. And what was different this time is we were mentoring leaders that are people that we really respect and that are having great impact in the kingdom. And so we love the leverage part of it, you know, that we know that they're the covering over so many people that are involved in their ministries, and to be able to impact them positively is not only blessing their marriage and their ministry, but all those people that are under their covering.
Mm-hmm. It's very humbling for me to have that spot, but again, it brings me to my knees because I can't do it unless God tells me how and what to do. It keeps me completely dependent on Him.
Well, for us to be able to have the fun part, play, was again a learning experience, because in ministry, as Esther was pointing out earlier on, it's like everything is serious. I mean, you have serious problems, serious matters. People come to you with marital problems and all kinds of other problems. We live in an area that is there's much unrest and turmoil and all that. And so for us, fun and play is not part of a daily agenda. Not with the two of us or with anybody else. And so the opportunity we had there during that retreat was for us to just relax. And one of the questions that I thought was the most difficult question to answer was, what do you guys do for fun? I thought, what is that kind of question? We're in a spiritual retreat. Why would you ask me fun? I mean, we're talking about spiritual matters. We're trying to discover God, what is profound and everything. And so I didn't have an answer for that. And then we started looking, well, maybe working out, we like that, but workout is work, you know. And then we had to learn, you know, what can you do together to relax and have fun. And so we even learned how to play one game.
Domino.
Domino.
Whatever how you say it.
Yeah, how you say it in English. And it was very relaxing. I mean, we were able to just enjoy each other. We didn't have any target or plan or anything to do at that time, but just have fun.
I think often when Westerners go to places like Africa, we act as if we are the solution and we have it all figured out, but they are the solution, and the youth of their country is the solution. We are just blessed with so many books and resources and tools and here that as we go over and share them, and then we see what you do with it. And couples where the wife is saying, we've been married 27 years and this is the first time he's affirmed me.
Yes.
Husband saying, I've been married 22 years and my wife got a new husband tonight. That's what is fulfilling for us. For us, it's, and that's really separate from their ministry. That's just among their friends of what they're sharing. And so that's powerful as we watch you do that. And for us, it's just like being involved in a small way with a really powerful ministry, and knowing that you're helping move that forward is just beyond blessing. And to be able to be together life on life over time in this journey and walking along together and learning from you as we do is just such a privilege and blessing to us.
But to us also a blessing was, as you said, in a small way. To us it was not just the things that they said and the things we did together, but us watching them. In fact, I learned from Rick the habit of actually opening the door for my wife, which could be a very simple thing that is, you can say, it's a small thing, but it was an example to me of servanthood, that I need to serve my wife.
Yeah, and just to talk about that example, now we have some of our staff opening up the door for me. And for others, and which they didn't know. Now everyone he's been imitating Rick, now everybody's imitating he's imitating Camille, so
It's so great. One of the pastors that you guys introduced us to, he was telling us that 4 days after he was married, his wife was in tears, and she said, you're gone, we've only been married 4 days, and you're gone all the time, and I don't have a husband, I just sit here by himself. And he said, get used to it, that's what it's going to be like to be a pastor's wife. And years have gone by, but because he heard about what it's like to be an affirming, serving, loving husband who puts his wife's needs first, he said, that's over. She was right, and I was wrong all these years.
Yes.
I'm changing, and oh my goodness.
My wife got a new husband tonight. That's how he saw that.
yes, yes. So you see how it's a necessity.
We're going to spend eternity together, and it's so fun to get to know each other intimately and through the Lord, right now. I can't wait to do eternity with these guys.
Same here.